Hi, little knife review today. Another FALLKNIVEN blade. If you subscribe to my videos, you'll have probably seen I recently did the FALLKNIVEN LTC, the legal to carry, which is a really nice little slip joint, particularly suited to the European market. If you don't subscribe to my videos, please do. This is another folding knife. It's the FH9BH. The FH stands for Folding Hunter, and the BH stands for Black Hawk, which refers to the scales, which are black micarta. So really pleased to have another look at a FALLKNIVEN knife. Really good brand, just getting into them. So we'll get this out of the package. Unlike the LTC, it is a lockback, so not something which is everyday carry really for the UK market, unless you've got good reason. So first of all, let's have a look at the packaging. Very simple packaging, pretty much the standard fare for FALLKNIVEN, but quite attractive. I really like the sort of simple line drawing of the product. Got a few words on the side describing what it is. So it's laminated cobalt steel, and obviously some warranty information on the back, and some information about sharpening. So nice, simple packaging, but you know, there's something quite attractive about it. Okay, so the knife itself, as I say, it's a folding hunter. It's got the black micarta scales. Fairly traditional construction. It's got the back lock. You know, I haven't had a backlock knife since I was a young man, or a young boy. Most knives these days tend to favour sort of liner locks and frame locks, but backlocks are certainly something not to be overlooked. They're actually very, very effective, as you'll find on this one. The blade is fairly petite. It's just under 3 inches, but very, very stout. We'll do some comparisons with other knives in a minute, but it's got a very nice stout feel to it. Razor sharp. It is a full flat grind, which if you watch my videos you'll know is my preferred arrangement for a blade. I find full flat grinds really slice nicely, great for food prep. They don't bind up if you're cutting wood, and you know, I just find them particularly effective and something which I tend to sort of favour. As I say, petite and stout, nice rounded spine, so if you're needing to skin something, I guess, you're putting your sort of guiding finger up the top there, and you've got a nice rounded spine there, sort of satin polished. The flats are also to a satin finish, with no sort of grind lines to be felt, very smooth, and obviously you can see the very attractive, or I find it very attractive, line of lamination in the steel there. So as I say, it's got the FALLKNIVEN sort of fabled steel, very much their preferred steel, and what they're probably very well known for. Nail nick for opening, so plenty of blade to pinch there, but just in case there's a nail nick to get you that extra purchase. Opens up very easily. Not a one-handed opener really, but I think with a traditional style, not necessarily what you'd expect. On the blade also you'll see some etched branding there. We'll get in some close-ups, but that's the FALLKNIVEN and the model number FH9. Got the embossed FALLKNIVEN there, and on the other side the country origin, which is Sweden, so a European made knife, which is quite nice. Of course the blade is centered. You know, my experience, backlocks do not suffer from centering issues because there's no lateral pressure on the blade. So if we get onto the lock itself, as I say, a very traditional approach, and probably one which people don't consider as much as they should do these days. Obviously very easy action or sort of deployment with the lock It's indented there so you can get a good pressure on it. As you saw there, nice smooth operating. Oh, the blade pretty much just drops, obviously not on bearings, don't think it's even on washers, but just very well made, very consistent. The back lock itself, there's no play in any direction, which is good. The lockup, if you will, where the spine of the back lock meets the spine of the blade, as I say, we'll get in for some close-ups, but perfect fit and finish there. Really nicely put together. The scales, as I said, black micarta, complemented with a steel bolster, which is a separate bit rather than milled out. Pinned construction, and the pins are perfectly flush, perfectly finished. There's a nice texture to the micarta, hopefully, which we'll see as we zoom in. It's not really a texture which you'll feel, but you can just see the layers of the fabric. I think it's fabric in the micarta. Very nicely, very nice little fit effect there. Obviously, the transitions into the bolsters completely seamless. To be honest, as you'd expect, because this is not a cheap knife. On the price, this is about £150 UK price. So you'd expect a very good level of fit and finish, and that is indeed what you receive. You've got perfect transitions, the scales, the liners, all transition very nicely, and there's no sort of visual or sort of tactile defects, if you will. It's very nicely executed little blade, this. On the scales and the sort of construction, part of me would kind of favour a pivot there, because then you can adjust it. In reality, the amount of times I've had to adjust my knives, even the ones that get heavy use, is very, very seldom, but it just feels like something which I'd kind of like to see, but to be honest, the fit and finish on this probably doesn't need it. Obviously you've got a lanyard hole there, and that's really nicely put in. It's actually in sort of through the back spacer here, so you can't, on the inside, and we'll get in for some close-ups in a minute, but on the inside there's no risk of any sort of contact being made with a lanyard or anything like that, and it's just really nicely tucked away into the back spacer, so really sort of nice fit and finish inside as well. On the scales, you really sort of get into the sort of the feel of the knife, and whilst it is quite petite, it is a really nice sort of hand-filling size. The fingers drop in quite nicely there. Nice little sort of choil, if you will, for your finger there, and then your other fingers fall in there. Really nice sort of, there's not a lot of texture, there's no jimping, but the sort of the style and design of it locks into your hand quite nicely. Very sort of nimble, agile, petite blade, which you can use to good effect, I think. Okay, so that's pretty much it. We'll dive in for some close-ups in a minute. As I say, around about £150. I'll put a link to the FALLKNIVEN site below, so you can see where you can pick it up from. As I said at the beginning of the video, if you don't subscribe to my videos and you like knives, boots, denim, coffee, fountain pens, all that sort of stuff, please take a look, and I'd love it if you subscribed. Comments are always welcomed, what I can do better, or what you like about my videos. But apart from that, thank you very much. I hope this is useful, and we'll go in for some close-ups. Okay, so coming in for some close-ups here, you see the nice line of lamination, logo, and the embossed finish there, or sorry, the embossed brand there. Nice sharpening notch there, something I always favour on blades. Got the scales, say perfect fit and finish there. On the inside, nice clean construction. You can see, hopefully you can see what I was referring to, the back spacer, the lanyard sort of integral to it, which I think is quite a nice fit feature. Back lock, only tiny little seam there, and that's just to allow the back lock to operate. take the opportunity to just put it side by side with some other blades now, just to show the sort of relative size. So first of all, we've got the UK PK. So it's slightly smaller, slightly shorter blade. As I say, it's slightly below 3 inches. But hopefully you'll see there a relatively stout blade right down to the tip. Very capable. Very nice clean edge on it. Okay, and just to finish it off, something else you might well be familiar with, the Victorinox Farmer, well used, dirty blade, apologies. Again, very stout, as you can see. Okay, let's put those there, lined up, and hope that's helpful. Thank you very much. If you like my videos, please subscribe.